Wanakosgei, if I could get your views, oftentimes we paint the privatization as a silver bullet to all the challenges we have in terms of state corporations. But skeptics would argue, I mean, look, we are having this conversation at a time when KQ is potentially reverting back to state ownership. If you look at the story of Mumias, which went public in 2001 and now is in financial headwinds. We have Uchumi, which went public in around 91, 92, and same story. Do you think those who say privatization has failed this country are correct?
Let me put it this way. I think generally what happens in life is that when you have a glass, for example, with half water, we always want to look at it from it is half empty instead of half full. Even as we talk about some of those, which in most cases, there would be factors that could be sectoral. It could be factors that relate to certain governance issues, but we also have success stories. Yeah. And the interesting part of it, as I said earlier, is that we always want to look at what has not worked, and we don't look at the other side on those which have worked. Yeah. And I've been giving an example, for example, of Safaricom. And Safaricom, for example, if you look at the proposal that was there for Safaricom, we had a strategic investor, we have the public through an IPO, and then we have government. Yeah. And this is a typical story of a local, entity that has gone through privatization and is doing extremely well. This is the example of Kenya Commercial Bank. Again, this one went through a privatization and it's doing very well. So yes, we are not saying that privatization is the solution to all the problems. Some of the challenges that we normally experience is also to do with perception. Every time, for example, we identify an entity that is strong financially for, say, privatization, and then you would get this sentiment, no, that one is doing very well. Why do you want to privatize? So then the perception is that you need to privatize loss-making institutions. Yes. Why should we go until that particular stage? Just like in sickness, I mean, if you're not feeling well, you start by trying to do something quickly. You don't wait until you are admitted for you now to start realizing I needed to have done preventive measures.